WQTS Digital Radio, where true sound lives.
What is going on, everybody? This is DJ House from WQTS Digital Radio. We are on the line with Jessica Major. She's running for District Court Judge, Seat 1. How you doing, Jessica?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. The general is happening on Tuesday, May 17th in North Carolina.
Yes, May 17th.
We got district court judges running. We got senators running. We got congressmen running. We got everybody trying to get down. Jessica, I want you to tell the crowd a little bit about yourself.
I have been an attorney for 12 years now. I'm practicing in Durham, North Carolina. I practice family law, criminal law, personal injury. I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia, but I've made Durham my home since about 2006. And I love Durham, and I just want to make it a better place.
What is your educational background?
I went to undergrad at the University of Pittsburgh, where I got a bachelor's in science and psychology. Then I took a year off, and then I started at North Carolina Central University School of Law in 2006. In 2009, I graduated with my JD. And in 2013, I also got a LLM in trial advocacy from Temple University.
How do we make the transition from psychology to law?
I always knew that I wanted to be a lawyer. So when I went to undergrad, I decided that I wanted to study something that was going to be interesting. So I know a lot of individuals who want to be lawyers study political science. But I decided that I wanted to figure out where people were coming from, because I knew I was going to be a litigator. And so I kind of wanted to have an advantage in terms of knowing why people did some of what they do. So I decided to study psychology instead.
What role does a district judge serve in the community?
So district court judges are really important in the community. They handle most of the matters that people are going to be going to court for. So recently, of course, evictions have been in the news. There was a moratorium on them when the pandemic first started. Those matters are handled by our district court judges. Also, all of your family court matters are going to be handled by district court judges. All of your traffic matters are going to be handled by district court judges. So pretty much anything that has to come to court, for the most part, is going to be handled by your district court judges, other than your felonies and your larger civil cases.
What could you say that would stand out to make people say, hey, I'm voting for Jessica Major?
So one, I would say that I have a different background than my competitor. I always knew I was going to be a litigator. And so I am bringing with me over a decade of trial court experience that is in family court, that is in criminal court, that is in traffic court. And so I have that firsthand experience in terms of knowing how the rules of evidence apply to what's going on in the courtroom, how the rules of civil procedure apply to what's going on in the courtroom, and how the rules of criminal procedure apply to what's going on in the courtroom. Also, with having over a decade of legal experience, I also have the benefit of having real life experience in terms of seeing firsthand how these cases that come to court affect people once they leave the courtroom. And so those living stories are things that stay with me and influence me, and will make sure that once I am elected, I keep in mind that these are real people coming to court, and that I have to remember that this is important to them. It's not just a job, that I have to maintain my empathy and compassion and make sure that I am ruling with those things, because these are real lives. They're not just cases.
Would you say you're a constitutionalist Or would you say you govern based on feelings, empathy? What's your methodology?
So you do take an oath of office when you become a judge. And so I do think it is important to follow the law, but the law does leave open a lot of discretion. So I think first off, you have to apply the law as it's written, but where there is discretion open, I do think that I would attempt to make decisions as equitable as possible and try to apply empathy where I could. But I do think it's important to follow the law because that's what you're there for. And folks should kind of have an idea of what to expect when they come in. And when you follow the law, they can do that.
What if something came across your desk that was controversial and the public was protesting in front of your house? Would that have any change in your decision of how you rule on the bench?
Absolutely not. I think that these are very trying times, and those are things that are happening today. And I think that you have to honor the oath that you take when you are sworn in. You can't be swayed by protesters. You can't be swayed by PACs. You have to do the job that you ask the public to give to you and honor the oath that you've taken when you were sworn in.
Durham is facing a lot of challenges right now. How can our district court judge help out with those issues facing our community right now?
So I think that our judges can do a few things to help with the specific challenges that Durham is facing. I think one of those things is to be more active and involved in the community. I think that our youth need to see our leaders because we continue to have the conversation that representation matters. But if you stay in the courthouse and no one ever sees you, your representation then doesn't matter because no one sees you. And so I think our youth being able to connect with our judges and see them step out of the courthouse and into the community help give them something to aspire to. And then I think second fold is that our judges can make sure that they are honoring the oath that they took and to look at some of the decisions that are being made and making sure that the individuals that are causing some of the problems in our community are being held accountable when they do come to the courthouse. And we can do that by setting appropriate bonds. And we can do that by ensuring that the sentences that are given out are appropriate and following the law when those sentences are given out.
What could you tell the voters that they don't know nothing about you? If they saw you on the street or they saw you at a community event and you say, hey, I'm Jessica Mayer. I'm running for district court judge. Why should we pick you?
I will say something I don't talk about a lot is I really have a passion for kids. I don't have kids of my own. However, I do love family law, which I know is a little bit weird. Most people don't love it. But I genuinely care about the individuals who come into my office with family law cases and the children who are a part of those cases. Currently, I'm serving as a volunteer guardian ad litem, which means that I represent children in court for free so that they have a voice and the court knows what their wishes are in terms of how their case turns out for them. So I really love children. I believe that all kids deserve to have a great childhood and deserve every opportunity possible for them.
Jessica, we want to thank you for coming on to the station, and we hope everything works out well for you for election 2022.
Thank you very much.
All right, then. Talk to you later.
All right.
If you got internet, you got us. WQTS Digital Radio.